welcome to Eva's House of Spirit. I'm Eva. It's my second cup of coffee for the day. And I'm making this video because I received a pleasant surprise today, and I thought that I would share that with you all. I was just kind of going about my business, I was working on my Halloween costume, whatever, doing just what I was doing. And I'm sitting outside, and my neighbor's friend came over from my neighbor's house and handed me some things that my neighbor wanted me to have. Now, I'm not going to mention my neighbor's name because I want to maintain privacy for my neighbor, but my neighbor in recent years lost his wife. She passed away. She had an illness. And what my neighbor's friend had come to deliver to me from my neighbor were a whole array of candles that belonged to my neighbor's wife. And there was also a mini there was a mini African bone divination kit in there as well. And I was very grateful, and I was very honored. I feel very honored that my neighbor would want me to have these things. And while I don't believe that my neighbor's wife was like pagan per se, I have reason to believe that she most likely was open-minded. And because I'll tell you right now, I know that he's not a big fan of candles, number one. And number two, he's not the type that would even bother to get an African divination set. But it sort of touched me a lot that my neighbor would gift me these things, that my neighbor would let me inherit these things. Because fire to me is the gift of spirit, giving someone candles from someone else. Maybe I don't know, unique in thinking this way, but I kind of felt that it was sort of a big deal. I don't know if my neighbor saw it that way, but I see it that way. It's sort of saying like, I give you this gift of spirit, from so-and-so, you know what I mean? It's like a sharing on a really deep level to me. And most of the candles were unburned, but there were some that were, and there was two that were two that were burned. The first one was this one, but what I did is I carved the top and I cut off the part of the wick that was burned, and I intend to clear this out. I intend to cleanse it so that it's like a new candle, because I feel to let it go to waste or to fear, oh, it was previously used, let me throw it out. I don't feel it's not something that resonates with me. I feel that it's something that should be used, appreciated, so I carved the top of the candle, I removed the burned part that was higher up, and I'm going to cleanse this, and I will use this for something. And I also had another one, this little spiral red one is the same case. I carved the top, and I cut off the burned part of the wick, and I will also be using this little red spiral candle as well. And then there was this one. This one is actually broken. I don't know if you can see, but there's a crack in it. And I thought to myself, what this would be good for is to help two parties that are fighting to get along and make amends and make up. Like if I am fighting with someone and I don't want to fight anymore, or if I know two people that, normally they would get along, but they're having like a really bad fight. What I do with candles like this, when they break, I don't just throw them out. I will take a white candle, and when I'm charging the one that's broken. And red is a really good one, a really good color for when people are fighting and you want them to kind of start getting along better. I will take a white candle that is charged, for harmony and, clarity, to help people see not just their side of things, but also the side of the other person, and just to help people kind of maybe make amends. Because, you don't have to agree with someone, but do you have to fight with them outright? So then I will take the white candle, I will light it, and I will mend the red one that is broken until it's, whole again. And then I will, charge. As I'm doing that, I will put emotion and intention in there. And then, I will burn the mended red one so that, the two people, whether it's me and someone else, or two people that are fighting, that, maybe it would be beneficial for the two of them to get along, or let's say, for example, if you have a friend, and they're fighting with their best friend and it's over something really stupid, and that person's obviously not happy fighting with the person they're fighting with, and they come to you like, hey, I don't want to fight with this person anymore, maybe you could do a candle like this to mend that fighting, to help them to stop fighting and just kind of not just see their own side, but maybe see the side of the other person, and maybe come to some kind of amicable, compromise, or like, okay, even if you knew, let's say, a married couple that was having a really bad issue, well, maybe you could do something like this so that they could go, all right, this obviously isn't working. Either we can A, work on it, or B, we can walk our separate ways, but not be fighting like cats and dogs, whichever happens to be best for them, And I like to leave it open-ended like that, whatever is the greatest, most beneficial outcome for those two people, whatever that may be, I put it in my intention that, let them arrive at that in a peaceful manner, in an amicable way. So that's what I would use a candle like this that's broken for. So if you have candles like this that are cracked, don't throw them out. Save them for when you need to mend things between yourself and someone else. Let's say if you're warring, you're having a fight or a lot of fights with your husband or your wife or your girlfriend or your boyfriend or your best friend or whatever, people at work, and you just want the fighting to stop, and you just want everybody just to come to like an understanding and like, be able to move forward from that. Well, that's what these are good for. If you use a white candle, to mend the red candle, and you put in the energy that whatever is the best solution will be arrived at, but the fighting will stop. So yeah, these are our 3 candles. These 2 that I'm going to cleanse, clear of any previous intentions, energies, emotions, whatever. I'm going to clear these out, and then I can recharge them for something else. And this one, the broken one, I'm going to save this for harmony, to stop fighting in a situation where that's necessary. The majority of the candles I got from my neighbor, most of them were red. I think probably because these may have been for like Yule time, but I'm not sure. But she had a lot of red candles, a lot of tapers mostly. There was one gray, one green, and there was another secondary to the majority of red. There was, a lot of white as well, white candles. And like I said before, I feel honored. To me, it's just like, wow. And I made sure to thank my neighbor and thank my neighbor's friend for, gifting me with these. And I'm intrigued by the African divination bone set. It's a very small set. It doesn't have like a whole bunch of pieces. And it doesn't appear to me to be a set that is like the curios that are used in hoodoo. This one is a little different. It has sets of 2, like, I think there's, let me see, 1, 2, well, not really sets of 2 necessarily, because the second one was, it has mainly sets of 2 pieces, and I think there's like 5 or 6 sets of 2 pieces, and they symbolize certain things, and depending on the geometric patterns and the ways that they would fall, they would mean certain things. I was looking at the little booklet that was attached to the pouch, and I was looking at the pieces. But it's not like the hoodoo method where you would use curios and the symbolism of the curios or the bones would have meaning, but it's more how they fall in a pattern into which you could sort of scry and feel. That's sort of more the hoodoo method. This one is a little bit different. It's similar yet different. And I'm interested in learning more about that. I do have a set of curios that I cast sometimes myself, but my set I made myself, and I did not put any animal bones in it because I just don't feel the need to work with bones. Really. So, and I didn't want to sort of hold the remains of a living creature. But this set having been gifted to me, I don't know yet what I intend to do with it. I am thinking of keeping it because although normally I wouldn't go out and get bones, you know, and use them much in my work, I'm not saying it's a bad thing to do. Normally I wouldn't, but these were given to me by someone, you know, who, you know, it was a gift, and I do feel honored to have received it. I don't know, I just don't know if I feel that it would be right to like get rid of the bones out of the set. I don't think that would be right to do. So what I may do is I may like light a candle to thank the spirits of the animals, you know, and to thank the spirit of my neighbor's wife, you know, for the spirits of the animals for their I don't know how to put it into words, to sort of acknowledge them and to say, you know, I will take care of your bones, and to say like I respect you, and I you know, send positive energy to you and thank you, you know. I hope that you did not die in a horrible way for these bones to be acquired, you know, things like that, you know. I want to send that kind of intention to the spirit of the animal or animals from which the bones came. And I'm really hoping that these came from animals that did not suffer. And granted, I didn't buy this set, so just let it be known, I did not go out and, you know, if you're into animal rights, hey, I didn't go buy this. I didn't go support this. This was given to me by someone who, you know, their wife had owned this previously. And I don't know the story about it, but the fact is she was a sweet, sweet lady. And this was given to me in her memory. You know, I inherited this, so to just toss it or be like, you know, like, I don't feel that's right. But I want to light a candle for the animals, and I also, you know, whose bones are in the little bag, and I want to light a candle for my neighbor's wife to say, I feel very honored that this came into my possession. I hope this is in line with what you would have wished, and I will do, you know, I will do positive things with what has come to me. I feel very honored, and I will care for the things that came into my, you know, possession that were yours once. I will take care of these, and I will cherish these because these were a great gift. And that's pretty much the extent of what I want to say on this topic. I just thought I would share this with you because I thought, being that we're so very near Samhain, I feel that this is something that is an honor, and it's appropriate. It's almost like it makes sense that this is the time of year that I would inherit these things like this. And maybe it was a coincidence, but I tend to feel that things usually happen for a greater purpose. So yeah, that's pretty much the extent of what happened, and I just thought I would share that with you because it was significant to me. So that said, till our next exchange, blessed be and Ashe.